Hello one and all, and today we're looking at the GoPro HERO6. Just over 2 years ago, in September 2014, GoPro announced the GoPro HERO5, which was a landmark improvement on all its previous generations. Not only did it look completely different, but it also introduced one-touch functionality and the ability to be waterproof up to 10 meters without a case, amongst other features, higher frame rates and so on and so forth. Now, September 2017, they've launched this, the HERO6, which looks absolutely identical. So what I want to know is, what exactly have they improved? Why would you buy one of these? Let's get into the box and find out exactly why you buy a HERO6.
In the box, you'll find a selection of warranty and instruction booklets, a couple of sticky mounts, one rounded and one flat, a battery, a USB-C charging cable, and of course, the HERO6 itself on a basic GoPro mount.
Now, before we get started, here's a quick tip for you. Keep this part of the box. You can detach this black plate on the top. This provides you with this whole thing as a GoPro mount. You can then use this as an extra stable mount for your GoPro, say if you're in windy conditions, it's not going to get blown over or what have you. And you can also use it on a flat surface like this table here for ultra smooth panning shots. Anyway, the GoPro HERO6, what have they changed? Because it looks exactly the same as the HERO5. So with the HERO6, it is the most expensive camera the GoPro have ever launched. Now, what have they done to justify that? Well, they have improved on their top end frame rates and resolution, which is pretty key because it's a camera. And they've also managed to better their already awesome image stabilization. The GoPro HERO6 features the same size 2-inch touchscreen on the rear, but when using it, the colours seem to pop a bit more. They seem to have spent some time on this. The touchscreen also seems to have been improved, with the HERO6 rarely missing a gesture, which is a welcome improvement, but considering that you only really use the screen for framing shots, it's not going to be that noticeable in day-to-day use, I don't think, but welcome nonetheless. Another new feature introduced on the HERO6 is the Wake On Voice function. Now, what this means is if you've turned your GoPro off by your voice, which is quite impressive already, it will then stay in a low-powered mode in order to listen for your voice for up to 8 hours, which could be useful if you've got the GoPro mounted in a weird position where you can't particularly go and press it to record or what have you. But the issue with voice is that it can easily be deafened. So if you're in a windy environment or a noisy environment, which given this is an action camera is quite likely, the microphones are going to be deafened and they're not going to hear your voice. So it will be interesting to see how that works in practice. Now we move on to the star of the show and what really sets the HERO6 apart from the old HERO5, and that's its processor. So GoPro have called this the GP1, and it enables the GoPro to capture far higher frame rates and resolutions, and also a few funky bits in the app, which we'll get onto in a minute. So the biggest party piece of the GP1 is the fact that it can now handle 4K at 60 frames per second, where the HERO5 topped out at 4K at 30 frames per second. You can also do slow-mo in 1080 up to 240 frames a second, which is seriously impressive. The old HERO5 topped out at 120, and they've also introduced a middleman at 2.7K at 120 frames per second, which is nice to have between 4K and 1080. However, with the 1080 240, I would be very careful how you use it. You're going to have to be very specific with what you capture because it will really fill up the memory card at that frame rate. So that is what is already quite impressive. The second thing that GP1 has enabled is enhanced image stabilization. So they've now enabled image stabilization in 4K at 30 frames per second. So 60 frames per second is still unstabilized, but it's quite impressive at 30. And they've also, if you're using like a wide angle view, they've also enabled a form of image correction called like roll correction, which means if you twist the camera like this, it will keep it kind of level, which is quite cool, and in theory should have the same effect as using a gimbal, but without using a gimbal, which is cool. But I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work, so I have to find out when we make a film. Now the GP1 processor also enables improved autonomy for video editing within the QuickShot app, which is quite impressive. So what I mean by that is if, I don't know, for example, you're a downhill mountain biker, you're riding your bike down a downhill course on a competition, you land a gnarly backflip and the crowd goes wild. This thing will register using its internal accelerometer, gyroscope and microphones what is going on. So it will feel the backflip through the camera with its forces. And then as you land it and the crowd goes wild, the microphones will pick up that the crowd is going wild. It will then mark that section of the footage as a particularly important part of your footage. And then when it comes to edit your whole movie of your weekend, for example, it will ensure that that is in the video. That's quite impressive. No, just me? I think that's quite impressive. Okay, so the Hero 6, my verdict. Well, I haven't actually filmed anything with it yet. Actually, let's film my outro with it. Right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is the Hero 6. Does it look any better? Dunno, you tell me. I can't see it right now. Anyway, I am shooting in 1080/60 in linear because that's what I shoot in the Hero 4. Not sure if it will make too much difference, but anyway, my verdict. Well, I kind of feel it's unfair for me to announce my verdicts to you without really filming anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little day trip away. We'll go somewhere nice and fancy. I'll make a little film for you guys and I will link it up here once it's uploaded. So please click on that if it's there already. If not, please click here to subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when it's uploaded.
If you enjoyed this review, please consider subscribing by clicking here. And if you want to see more of my reviews, please click here to see another video. Thanks for watching!